walking Backrooms today, and I decided to make a live because I was like, okay, I was gonna do like a lot of like short videos talking about the Backrooms, and I'm like, well, I could just go on off on the live, maybe some people can come in, and then I can cut it up into short videos. I thought that'd be a pretty interesting thing to do, and it might be good. But yeah, I want to talk about Backrooms because it is definitely one of those movies that a lot of people are wondering, is this really a good movie or not? So if you have not watched The Backrooms, we are going to get into spoilers. I tried to put in the title, so if anybody comes in here, there are spoilers ahead. So if you don't want spoilers for Backrooms, this is definitely your fair warning. I'm going to talk about the movie, and I would keep saying that there are spoilers just in case people jump into the live and don't want spoilers. Sometimes you're scrolling, you don't know, right? So that's what I'm going to do. So if it gets annoying, I'm sorry. But let's get into the film Backrooms. If you're watching this after it's alive, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. We're about to hit 45,000, which is amazing. I'm super excited about that. But let's talk spoilers for this movie. So, one of the first things I want to talk about here is what exactly is async, because async has been a hot topic of discussion. Now, a lot of people are wondering, what exactly do they want to do with the backrooms? Did they discover the backrooms? Did they create the backrooms? Are they here to do something nefarious? What is it? Well, Async did not make the backrooms. That is one thing for sure. They discovered the backrooms on their own. Were they the first ones to discover them? We don't know just yet. Now, the thing with them, as Phil, who is the character that Mark Duplass is playing in the film that we see at the very end, I thought was Philip R. Heyman for a point at a point, and it turns out I don't think he is, or maybe it's not said yet that he is. But that's character Philip R. Heyman in the lore of Backrooms is the one that discovered Backrooms. They were working with this, I believe it's called a low magnetic distortion system, and that basically opened a pathway into the backrooms. And they did this, I believe it was 1982 when it happened. It was just like a freak sort of like experiment that went wrong, but they discovered this new site and they were like, yeah, this could be interesting. Thus comes in Async and Ivan Beck, who is the vice president of Async, and they're like, we need to make a bigger like entranceway into the back rooms. And as they're trying to do this, what eventually happens is Async is like not really like the best people to do this, right? They cause an earthquake and things go wrong. And eventually these null zones start to appear. What null zones are what is in Clark's furniture store, these little portals that are opening up and allow you to go into back rooms. And what this is causing is a problem for Async because Async is trying to do their best to get a hold of the back rooms and make sure that they can tame them, if you will. They want to colonize the backrooms because their main goal with the backrooms is to make it into a space they can sell. Async is a real estate company and sort of a scientific explorer of sorts. They're going in there, they want to make the backrooms into storage facilities, warehouse space. They want to make it into office space, eventually residential space. So, yeah, you can make your dream come true and go live in the backrooms. And that's exactly what Async's trying to do. They're trying to sell this space out to people, they're trying to sell it out to companies, and they want to profit off of it. There is an information video that they put out, and I'm going to do a full video on Async tomorrow. I probably won't release it till Monday, though. So make sure you're subscribed and hitting that notification bell to know when it drops. I just have one on Dr. Marie Klein right now, but I'm going to do one on Clark and Async, and I will be breaking down what exactly Async's goal is. And I already said that they are probably going to be the main antagonists throughout this whole series, whether they make a second film or they decide to continue the web series more or just make a TV show. But that is what Async is doing here. They are just exploring. They're trying to map it out. They're trying to get rid of the creatures. They are placing these booby traps, those like cutout boards of people that are being used to lure out the monsters so they can eventually get them. So Async, they're kind of like explorers, but at the same time, they are basically these people that are just trying to make a profit. It is a capitalistic society, baby, and they're going to make money off of the back rooms one way or another. And that's pretty much their end goal, but I'll go deeper into their goal in another video over there on the channel. Yeah, I was excited too, especially when they showed the pool room and all of that. I thought that was cool. So I'm excited to see what they are potentially trying to do with the next one. And also that we got a little bit of async. I hope we see more of that as well. But I really did love to see Clark and Mary's whole like storylines come together. I thought Clark's was interesting and gave us a little bit more details about the beings that are in here. And I thought that the still life that we saw of Clark was really honestly an interesting design. It really startled me a lot when it first came in and it just was there crashing the party, if I will. And I was like, "Damn, this thing is just, like, menacing." The way that Clark was just trying to, like, talk to it and calm it down, I thought that that was a brilliant part of it. And in a more deeper way, I see that being as Clark's manifestation of everything that he hates about himself, right? Almost like a big ego of sorts, but in a more evil way, right? Because he hates this furniture store. He hates dressing up as the pirate. He hates that he wasn't an architect, and this creature of sorts represents all of that. And ultimately, this hate, this anger, and this sort of like thing that he has in the pit of his stomach that he feels resentful about is what ultimately kills him. And I thought that that was an interesting take right there to see that. I thought the design was very cool as well that they were able to do for the creature in here. And I'm curious to see what they will do with the next ones. I feel like there were other things in the like found footage segment with Bobby in the camera. Like in one part, you could see like a face and all of that. And of course, there were the ones that were Clark, but I think there were other ones roaming around that maybe we didn't get to see. Yeah, I agree. It was really good. Really, honestly, just was like some of these sequences. I was like, oh, what's about to happen? Like edge of my seat type of vibe there. And I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with the next ones. And it made me go back to rewatch some of the little shorts that Kane did back then, because I think there's a lot in there. I'm still trying to decipher with the sun and everything, the symbol as well, because we saw it at certain points. It definitely warrants a rewatch from me in the next couple of days. So when I do that rewatch, I'm gonna be like scoping out every little detail, and I want to make another video probably next week, really trying to dissect it even more. I thought the whole thing with Mary and her mother was such a interesting way to look at it as well, what the Backrooms have done and sort of showcase what it is ultimately doing, right? Because at the very end, of course, with Mary and what Clark tells her that what the Backrooms do is it sort of replicates and tries to make a copy of things, but it's not able to do a good copy of it. But we see it at the very end that it tries to copy Mary's office, her home, her bed, even her at one point in the very end, which was very eerie to end the film on that like single frame right there. And it just showcases that whatever happens to Mary with async or whatnot, it's still going to be like a copy of Mary in the back rooms. And people that may come after and all of that won't know this was Mary. And I'm wondering who the people that Clark was with are actually who they actually are, right? Because these have to be actual people that at some point came into the back rooms and they pretty much were made into copies because they were in there. And I'm just wondering what that might be. I also thought it was fascinating that Clark was able to discover that these like forms, life forms in here were able to be eaten, and my camera light just completely went dark right there. So sorry about that. I'll probably stay on live for another 5 minutes or so because I should charge my phone more, but I just want to get out some quick thoughts. I'm gonna make a whole other video, so make sure y'all are subscribed about async, about Clark. I'm gonna watch the movie again and try to get as much symbolism that I can because I need to see that painting that Clark did as well because I think there's a lot of details there that are really going to be used as a springboard for the next film or for the series that Kane is going to do. I thought that was fascinating to see as well. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, this definitely is a movie that's had me thinking a lot more because it's interesting to think about how the backrooms may be sort of like how our memories and our mind work, where it's like a labyrinth and there's all of these like different things our mind remembers. And sometimes we don't remember it the full details, but we know like the big picture of it all, right? Like the outline of a memory. And I think that that's what we see with what's going on with the things that inhabit the back rooms. They sort of look right, but the more you look at it and the closer you get, you see it's not really as detailed or as how it should be, right? And it sort of could play in part with how our mind operates. I know a lot of it was with Mary and also her mother, the mental illness that her mother had as well, and her trying to reason with them. And it was a big thing of why Mary became a therapist. I said in my video is that she wanted to be there for people that she couldn't be there for her mother. And I think that that is why we see that she decides to become a person that's going to be able to help others because she wants to be there for somebody who needs the help because her mother couldn't get that help. And I think that she finally has that epiphany that she can't really go out there and save others because she hasn't saved herself, right? She is still dealing with the childhood trauma. She's still trying to decipher what even happened, and how would she even be there for Clark? How is she even going to be there to save him? And that's why she finally just erupts and tells him, "Hey, I can't be there for you. You are who you are." And that's it because herself has not even healed from that past trauma. And I thought that that was a very interesting way to bring it all back together. Same thing with Clark. I think he is somebody who, for the longest, blamed others for what happened to him and for what was happening in his life at the moment. He was so angry at the world and he was so angry at everybody else, but he didn't try to sort of reason or try to find a way to fix things, right? He was just blaming. And that's what Dr. Mary tells him at the very end at the dinner table, which was so tense, honestly. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing more Evil Dead videos pretty soon as well as we get closer to Evil Dead Burn. They did just announce also that Evil Dead Wrath just finished production, and I'm curious to see what they say more about that. So I'm gonna be doing some more videos for Evil Dead for sure. But I appreciate you and everybody who's watching as well. Whether you're watching it right now in the live or after it goes up, appreciate y'all. Make sure I hit the subscribe button. We're trying to grow the channel this summer, so appreciate y'all a lot. But yeah, I am excited to give Backrooms a rewatch. And, we're headed into the summer. I think the next movie that I'll be watching for sure might be Disclosure Day. I think I'm excited about that. But yeah, I'm going to give Backrooms a rewatch for sure because I'm just curious at some of the things I might have missed as well. And just really love the whole exploration part of it. I was very interested with the beginning as well because I thought the actor in this movie who's at the beginning, who is Avon Joji, I believe that's how you say his name, the first like found footage part of the film. I thought we were gonna get a little bit more of his story and how exactly he drifted apart from everybody and ended up where he ended up. And I'm curious if it was Clark's like still life that killed that guy at the beginning as well, or who it was, right? I think that there were other things that we haven't seen yet, so I want to see them talk about what exactly might come out of that. They haven't announced yet if they're doing the sequel. That probably will come out maybe until the next weekend when the box office like kind of comes together. But this movie already made a profit. There is no question about that because it's opening up to I believe 50 million and it was 10 million budget. All they had to do was 25 million. Anything beyond that is a profit. So we are going to get a sequel. We are going to get maybe hopefully more in the coming days and I think that should be interesting about it as well. um yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because it's sort of described as a bacteria, almost like a fungi. So a lot of people were wondering if that's kind of what made him go a little bit crazy, right? It sort of started to warp with his mind, and I believe he was in here for at least a couple of weeks, maybe even a month. So there's a lot there that probably messed him up, and just being in this space with these like humanoids, whatever they want to call them. I think that really disturbed him. And even the backrooms themselves, maybe they sort of shift. It is maybe a living, breathing thing. They haven't really expanded on them. And maybe being in there in the presence of it just warps your mind even more. So I think Clark never really stood a chance just being stuck here. And I think he found it easy too at the same time because like he says at the dinner table that nobody down here is judging him. He can be what he wants to be. He can start something new. I said in my other video too that I think Clark sort of is fascinated by the backrooms because he's an architect. He likes these intricate designs, and backrooms is just a fascinating place for him, right? Because these rooms just don't make sense. These rooms are like on anything he's ever seen before, probably, and it sort of is an attraction that he has to them. So I think it was a mixture of eating these people and eventually being stuck for so long and just having them as the only people he talks to, and also just being fascinated by the world that ultimately drove him quote unquote crazy, right? So yeah, Clark, I'm doing a whole video on him. That's gonna be coming out probably on Monday alongside the async video talking about what exactly they're trying to do. But I think I might have the async video ready by tomorrow because I already recorded that. I just need to edit it and get that ready to go. So hopefully I can get that done maybe tomorrow morning and upload it by the afternoon. Hopefully, that's what I'm gonna try and do like tonight. So after this live, I'm probably gonna go and do that. But I appreciate everybody who's been on and all of that. I did say I want to do better lives and a schedule. So on Monday we are going to start doing a maybe um afternoon type of show or anything like that, and that should be fun. But I do have the async video coming out where I talk about async in depth and what exactly they're trying to do with the backrooms. That will be coming out tomorrow. Then I will do a Clark video talking about the character itself. I'm gonna rewatch the backrooms and then I'll do a more in-depth breakdown of the things that we may have missed, and then I'll talk theories about what comes for a Backrooms 2 or a series. So I'll be putting out 4 more Backrooms videos from tomorrow, Sunday, up until Thursday. And then it should be fun. It should be fun talking about the Backrooms. And if I get some more little like quick nuggets in my head to talk about, I'll just do it as shorts and just give you my like unfiltered raw thoughts about it. So I'm excited about that and doing all of these videos. Very, very excited. So it's been a good couple of weeks for horror movies. I enjoyed Obsession, of course. I had watched it again after watching it at TIFF last year, and now we have Backrooms, and we're getting Disclosure Day as well. And it's a good time to go to the movies, I feel. So I'm excited about that. But I appreciate everybody who's been watching so far. If you haven't already subscribed, we talk more than just the Backrooms, of course. We talk about horror movies, TV shows, and all of that. But right now, we are really focused on the Backrooms, and I did a quick talk at the beginning about Async and how they are a company that is just there trying to profit off of the backrooms. I had a better light at the beginning of my live, but the battery wasn't charged, so I'll make sure that's charged tomorrow when I go do another live. But yeah, Async just wants to make a profit off the backrooms by selling it like real estate. You can buy warehouse storage, you can buy a storage facility, you can buy office spaces, you can even buy a residential space. So if you want to live your dreams in the back rooms, you can do that. That's what Async ultimately wants to do. Uh, yeah, I think that it's gonna go crazy this opening week. I'm excited for Monday, honestly, to see where this movie's gonna open up at, because I think that the way that this movie's opening up so far, like they're saying, yeah, we're getting a sequel for sure. But I think if it overextends and achieves what they're thinking, they're probably gonna fast track it as fast as possible to do that sequel. So hoping that we see this movie really go for it and just have a run like Obsession's having. Because I think Obsession is going to end at the 100 million by Monday. So it's pretty good. And hopefully we get some more stuff. And I'm curious, I'm going to put a poll or a question up tonight. What other internet creepypasta or lore would y'all want to see be turned into a film now after Backrooms? That's an interesting question that I have, because I can assure you, after Backrooms opening weekend, all the producers, all the studios, and all that, they're hunting down for these creepy pastas and all that. I hope Slenderman gets us around too. We'll see what happens. But let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Thank you for joining me. If you watched the live, I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to talk about Backrooms. I have 4 more videos coming out this week. So that's going to be coming out from Sunday to Thursday, those 4 videos. Don't miss out on them. I'm gonna get off the live now because I need to go edit that async video. I have it recorded, just need to edit it so I can have it uploaded by tomorrow. So I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a good night, and thank you for watching. I truly, truly appreciate it. And yeah, everybody who commented as well, very, very good discussion, and we'll discuss more backrooms for sure. So everybody, have a good night. I appreciate y'all, like I said, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. I have the async video, and then we'll do another live on Monday as well. Hopefully, I might be able to see the backrooms tomorrow again. We shall see, but very excited about that. Have a good night, y'all.